What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going down. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. You got it right here. I find this definitely. I know I make a lot of people mad. I do it every day, so I don't really care. Try to stay positive though. It ain't like I'm just intentionally doing this. I'm just speaking facts. Brandon Tatum posted on the day of his funeral. Nolan Wells' parents sent a notice to his friends and their families of attention to sue him. I truly don't agree with this, especially not knowing truly what is going on. I feel like this is more so got a lot to do with race. I find it sickening. I find a lot of things sickening that I'm seeing online. And I find it sickening the simple fact that so many people will and the thing is, they know exactly what they're doing. They know the truth about something and they know the real about something. They just choose to go a different route because obviously the color of their skin or what others believe. I don't know. I don't like it. It says on top of that, moments after laying her son to rest, Nolan Wells' mother opened his estate to pursue potential claims surrounding his passing. Like I said, I find it, completely insane, about this. It definitely sucks of, so many individuals going through this. I've had many talks with family members, different friends. Everybody has mixed, well, I think this happened. I think that happened. I think it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. But I'll tell you one thing and one thing for sure. I feel like this is something I don't mean no disrespect at all. I don't want people to take this the wrong way. But I truly believe as if, I don't want to say like the wrong thing. It's almost like and I definitely say as far as Ben Crump, especially, he's wanting to drag this as much as possible for the money. For the money. That's it and that's all. Spoke on Brandon Tatum. Says here Nolan Wells' mother, had a lot to say about Officer Tatum. Very little time. And, it says referring to Officer Tatum as that man was unnecessary and disrespectful. The goal was finding the truth about what happened to Nolan Wells. This is a post by Tamara Neely. I want to, put that out there. I usually don't forget, the names and stuff like that. I like to do that, so y'all know where to find, TN at TNN or TN at TN Neely 02. So y'all can go find her on X. But says the goal is finding the truth about what happened to Nolan Wells. The focus should remain on the facts and evidence, not personal attacks. For those unfamiliar with this case, 18-year-old Nolan Wells disappeared on Horn Island on the 4th of July and was found, unalive 2 days later. I ain't gonna say unalive, just found it. I don't want to use that because I don't know what happened. So, you know what I mean? I don't want to use that. His parents believe 3 of his white friends were involved, while Officer Tatum has shared interviews and information that says placed the friends, off the island before Nolan went missing. There are a lot of individuals saying that, the friends were still there. They never got told. They were still driving a boat. They were still... Let me tell y'all something. Instead of people actually having the facts right there in front of them, stop making up stories. Saying that Nolan Wells, these white and I don't know where this 3 white friends is coming from because I guess they just seen a picture of the 3 white friends. They weren't the only friends out there, and Nolan wasn't the only, I guess you could say, biracial, individual out there.
Same time. But right now we're kind of just stuck and we can't move forward because we don't have answers.
So when you talk about all the things that have been spread, there is this officer, I hate mentioning his name, a former officer who is a far right wing, who's been doing the interviews and has been saying, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on Brandon Tatum. No.
I respect that. And that's the right answer for everybody, I believe. And I feel like, because I mentioned him, I'm like, why did I even mention him? Because he doesn't deserve a platform.
No, he does not.
So the
Me personally, I feel like he definitely does, deserve a platform. I feel like anybody that, speaks on this is no, even though I don't agree with a lot of people and what they say, but I feel like it's one thing, and that's all the more reason why I say this. I'm not about to sit here, and I don't. Again, I'm one of those people that I try to be fair more than anything. I look at the simple fact that regardless of who you support, what you do, him saying that he's a far right wing, I'm gonna tell y'all one thing that truly ain't really got nothing to do with anything. You know what I'm saying? Like and that's again me being real. It's more so about getting information out about what's going on and for people to understand to stop using race with everything. That's how I look at it. But you have Don Lemon, whatever his name is. And I'm not really digging. But I look at the simple fact that regardless of who you support, whether you left, you right, you independent, whatever you got going on, I feel like you get on here and you look at different things and you talk about different things. I feel like that's something that definitely helps. I feel like it's something, and you leaving race out of things. It's something that definitely helps because you can hear and you can see what everybody's talking about. It's something that I love to see. Even if I don't agree with you, it's something that I love to see because I feel like it's something that's important, especially for America, in the world in general, to hear others people's thoughts. People gotta think we're all not, perfect. I learn something new every day, regardless of whatever it is. So for both of these individuals, Don Lemon, you got Christine, Nolan's mom, that is saying that he doesn't deserve a platform. I feel like it's bogus. I feel like Brandon Tatum has done a good job with, and I love to see it. I even told, I've told a lot of individuals. I told my dad, the other day that I think it was smart, for him to interview those different young men. Even reached out to Ben Crump. I'll show y'all that. I'm telling y'all.
Let's talk about the people, the young men that he's been interviewing. They're saying they're his best friends. Some of them you said that you don't know. One of them even said, Nolan would be outraged by the way his parents are handling this. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, why on earth would somebody go on and say that about a grieving family? But
again, distraction. We're not even going to address them or that man. We only want the truth. Again, at the end of the day, I'm going to say it like I've been saying it. The only question we have is what happened to Nolan. That's what we need to know. That's it. That's all.
Let me tell y'all something. I don't know what it is with people when they're saying things like all we want is the truth. It's almost like they want you to tell you something that, obviously they want to hear. If y'all follow what I'm saying, like what they want you to, what they want to hear, it's odd to me because it's like, okay, yeah, something did happen. Okay. And you tell them that, it is. Knowing this, I'm just saying, even, it's obviously we don't know, but I'm just saying, even if, are they still going to be yelling like, oh yeah, we want to, no, it's bothersome. I don't know what the word is. It's just, it bothers me so much. Because you steady saying that you want the truth, and people are doing everything they can with, and especially Brandon Tatum, with talking to these different young men and this, that, and the other, and it's still people making up these different things and saying this and making videos and making pictures. I'm telling y'all, I don't know. It's definitely insane to me. This is exactly what I was talking about. It says right here in new email, civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump denies interview with Officer Tatum show and hides behind Nolan Wells' family as an excuse. I don't know what these individuals keep thinking they are. Like they just insert themselves and say that they're family, I guess. I don't know. But
Benjamin Crump, for everybody that said Benjamin Crump wants to get to the bottom of this, he really cares about Nolan Wells' family, I'm telling you guys, they do not care. It's just a money grab. How do you know, Mr. Tatum? Well, then why, when we reached out to Benjamin Crump, that they didn't respond to us or they made some lame response after our fourth attempt to talk to him? Here's the email. This is the first time we reached out to Benjamin Crump. You can look at the email there, and you know exactly that we reached out to his team. We gave a generic media outreach where we put the information in there and say, hey, we would love to have an open dialogue. We value the conversation. Here's something that we want to know from his perspective what he has, and we wanted to deliver what we have to him. All right, we did that the first time. Here's the second time.
5 days later.
5 days later, here's the next one. what was that? A day after that,
Yep.
and then here's the fourth one.
Yeah, the fourth one is 5:30 in the morning, and it's basically saying, "Hey, that's still." You go to the next one. Yeah, this is the first response I received, which is basically, or no, this is the final response where they basically say,
Yeah. So the final response said, "Thank you for reaching out. Interest in speaking with Benjamin Crump." Right.
Yep.
So the thing is, we reached out to Benjamin Crump. We reached out to talk to Benjamin Crump. We didn't reach out to talk to the family. We only wanted to talk to Benjamin Crump. Put the thing back up there. And so as you can see on there, it says, at this time, the family is taking a break from media engagement as they continue to grieve and spend time together. Why are you talking about the family? I know they're taking a break. Benjamin Crump should be taking a break. He's the attorney.
correct.
We only wanted to talk to him. They acknowledge the fact that you reached out and interested in speaking with attorney Benjamin Crump, but says that the family is taking the time apart. It's a lame excuse for them not to engage with us. And people are running their mouth about whether or not they want to know the truth or not. We reached out to them.
When they're reaching out, I mean, I don't know, y'all. It's insane. Got it right here. This is Nolan Wells. I guess this is the parents. I guess you can say the parents, Benjamin Crump, Al Sharpton. This is their money. At this point, it seems like it's more so about them rather than Nolan. I hear Benjamin Crump's, Al Sharpton, Christine. I hear Tyler Perry. I hear all these different individuals' names more than I actually hear Nolan Wells' name. And I feel like that's the issue. I truly feel like that's the issue. I feel like people miss the simple fact of what actually matters here. I don't know. I just find I find a lot of it interesting. And y'all see me, I'm just going through the motions. Going through the motions. Ben Crump put, Nolan Wells' grieving mother should not be subjected to reported attacks while seeking answers about her son's passing. As the Wells family continues to demand transparency and an ongoing investigation, no one should weaponize online reviews against the mother's professional reputation. This is something that I said. I can agree with. Would not recommend her. Unfortunately, I'm looking for another medical provider. I don't feel Christine has my best interests at heart. I should be treated the same as her patients that share her skin color. I wouldn't trust her to care for anyone. I don't hate anyone that much to recommend her. Her oath is do no harm. Now, a lot of people, unfortunately, wouldn't get this. But just thinking about if it was the only, it was the other way around. Think about if she was white. And, she said this about black people. I can tell y'all right now, those comments wouldn't be as nice as that. Tell y'all that right now. And that's just me being real. That's me being real about it. So what I'm trying to say is, regardless of what they're saying in this, I truly feel like that's something that's fair. Me personally, even me being black, with my platform and what I'm talking about, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I wouldn't feel comfortable for the simple fact of that and what I'm talking about. Not family, nobody. None of that. So I'm not going to lie. I'm not about to sit here and just act like, something is, it's cool. It's not cool. When you get on here and you start making everything about race and then all of a sudden you just don't like white people when that's all y'all literally been around, find it insane. Tell you that much. And then saying that they don't know them. That's wild, right? Exactly. You have it right here. It says a Sacramento man was arrested for allegedly sending threats, packaging threats, if y'all know what I mean, violent message to Mississippi judge, the mother of one of Nolan Wells' friends who was with them the day he disappeared. This is definitely something that's sickening that people are doing. This is exactly what happens. And I'm not saying because a lot of these individuals are grown that are sending these threatening messages and this, that, and the other. But at the same time, this is what happens when you have people that get on the internet and make lies, that make AI videos, AI pictures. And when you got Benjamin Crump that's up there saying repeatedly that they did this and this, that, and the other, you're supposed to be an advocate. It's supposed to be some called, some attorney, you need to act like it. Definitely. You definitely do. And that's just how I feel about the whole thing. Serial post tomorrow, I will be exclusively releasing voicemails received by Warren Hudson's family and their attorney. The people responsible for these messages are absolutely disgusting. If you're able, please consider donating to the family's fundraiser. Let's rally together and help push it to 6 figures by the end of the night. Every donation makes a difference, and your support means the world to them. This is, the link. Stand with Nolan Wells Targeted Friends. There's only one fundraiser, and it is this one. So if there are any other fundraisers, 9 times out of 10 is somebody that is trying to get some extra money in their pockets, or somebody that is trying to raise money for Nolan Wells' parents, and Benjamin Crump and all of them. So these individuals right here, obviously, need that legal defense. As y'all see, they are almost at that goal of 100,000. They're at 86,000. I don't know. I feel like it's definitely pretty well that they have this. I'm not seeing nobody that is commenting anything nasty, which is a good thing, which these are the most recent. Well, that's pretty well that it's not. I'll definitely tell y'all that. But one thing about it is that, again, this is something that, I guess, one of those things, one of those sayings, that two can play their game. You can't sit there and say, oh, they did this, they did that, and they really don't know anything that's going on. So, like I said, waiting on more to come out. I'm definitely ready for, more to come out within this. Kind of see something new every day, so just stay tuned. Make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Catch y'all next one.